that everyone has had a nice time today and all the previous presentations have been super interesting. I'm very happy that my presentation and John's presentation before me did not go completely in different directions, which is great. That was one of the worries before my presentation. And also I'm very happy that all the presentations have not been in Norwegian or Swedish today, otherwise I might feel a bit not sure if I'm going in the same direction or completely other direction. Anyway, so today we're here to have a small reality check. And are we actually understanding our consumers and are we keeping them around or are we going in some other direction? What happened now? Yes. Now you can also see the first slide. So we have one elephant who is in the room, and it's this big number here. And I can give you a small context of it. It's about streaming services, TV, and Scandinavian population. Does anyone have any idea what does this number represent? Yes, the sea of hands, that's always great. If it's like at work, you ask, can someone do that, please? And it's the quietness in Teams meeting. It's exactly the same. Anyway, this number here, according to Magid's research, represents that 47% of streaming media users, customers, in 2023 have quit at least one service. Thankfully, this number is also similar to what John was presenting before. And it's only going to grow, according to their predictions. So why are they actually leaving? Well, they say that it's the price increases, it's the difficulty of using it. There are different reasons. We have a situation. Okay. And now it comes. Thank you. I just needed the magic touch of it. So are we today designing our products for our customers or are we designing for trends? And is there anything we can do about what we're actually doing and what can we do around there? So to begin with, we have an experience gap. We have users that we heard about before that are Gen Z and how are their behaviors and what are they thinking and seeing and expecting from us. And then we also have older generations that are now coming from TVPC, TVPT. They're also coming from the dishes. Next presentation is going to give you a bit of an overview about the dish customers and them moving from one to another. They are not as young. Some of them are super experienced, but their experience has started decades ago. And if I think about my own mom, who is in 50s, she's amazing and she's very smart and she can use computer, she works on computer. But sometimes she's not so bright about tech. So recently we changed a small component in our UI. We changed how the app behaves. We thought that it's super fun and, oh, we're being so innovative, so cool. And then I heard from my mother that she was angry or frustrated for a week after we had made the change because she felt dumb, that she can't handle it. And then she's only in 50s. My grandmother is in 70s. Somehow she's managing to use catch-up. I'm very proud. But she still can't use text messages. We have showed it, yes, 2,000 times, how to read a text message, how to handle it. No, can't work, doesn't work out, but she has robot vacuum. So win some, lose some. You can all read it, I'll give you a moment. But in 2022, 20% of the Scandinavian population, or Nordic region, was aged 65 and older, and by 2040, it's projected to be 25%. It's a quarter of a nation. 65 plus years old. And then you count in the younger ones that are also like my mom age and so on and so on. It's a lot of them. And one day also someone is going to talk about me the same way on the stage in some decades, which is a bit scary, but we can live with that as well. So what we can say is that we have very different users, and they have very different knowledge, they have very different experience. Some of their experience has started decades and decades and decades ago, and they are used to something much simpler than the one we are giving them today. And then we have the young ones. My friend's son, he's 7 now, he just went to school. When he was small, he was trying to zoom in the window so that he could see the bird from close by, because he had gotten to use the phone before he walked. They are also consuming our services. And when he saw a picture of a spa or water, he was trying to put his foot in so that he could go to spa. We can't forget innovation, right? Because we have heard today also great talks about innovation and how to move forward, what should we be doing. What we can't forget there is that we also have customers that have their own needs. And there is a question, are we actually designing and innovating for them, or are we doing it for the sake of innovation? I'm also a product person. I love tech-savvy solutions, I love to innovate, I love when it's all like flying around and everything looks great. But what do users want? Is it the same? I don't think so. So last presentation we saw a quote around Netflix from 2015, now we're back to 2014 from Wired, when they said that regular old TV still has the best UI around, and Netflix should also copy it. There is some truth to that. And I think we have moved very fast in years, and we have done great innovations. Sometimes we tend to forget what did regular TV had, that we maybe didn't take over always. What can we learn from the traditional TV UI that has been around for decades? I think at some point it was also black and white. I haven't seen that, but some might have. Simplicity works. Also, as John's, one of the last slides and one of the first points was simplicity. It works. Relevance for our older users. They still need to watch TV. We can't expect all of them to be ready to use Netflix, and they still want it to be simple. We still want to have them because, by the way, these guys have been our customers for decades, and they have been paying quite a lot so that we could innovate and keep everything running. We also have an opportunity there. We might be able to keep our customers. They might not go away. That's a bit longer one, I'll give you a moment. So the former CEO of Sky has said that it should be the way that they are willing to adapt their business model, or in our case, user experience, to the fits and needs of the customers, not the other way around, that we tend to do from time to time. As I also said, innovation matters, and we can't forget that. I'm not saying here that we should all go to regular TV and be happy about it, no. Super aggregation, I have lost count how many times I have had a panel with that word in it in past years, a lot. I think most of my panels have had this word, and it matters. Because we still have the users that want to watch content that they want to watch from wherever they want to watch it, and we have to bring it together and be ready to give them everything and anything. Recommendations. I hate when I open TV on Friday evening. I have 3 hours and I can't watch anything because I can't find anything. And then cross-platform integration. We have to be ready that they want to watch it wherever they are or on whatever device they want to use. Oh, and remotes. It's a bit of like interior design topic now, just tiny bit as well. These are the remotes that some people might still have at home. Most likely grandparents still have this similar remote at home. As you see, there is like a ton of buttons, right? And now we have these remotes, which I love, don't get me wrong. I love, for example, the Apple TV remote or the other remotes that have only a few buttons. But what is the difference? The difference is that they had a ton of buttons, but every button had a straight meaning, a straight use case. Now we're hiding away functionalities behind long pressing, behind, for example, the one that has the 4 dots of different colors. So yes, then you can get the colorful buttons again. In the old ones, they were just there as a row of these colored buttons. And it's always fun to design and make services for the young ones, but we can't forget the ones that are not super young and maybe don't have exactly the same experience. We can't make them feel dumb in it. So if you give my mother this remote, I don't know what's going to happen. Most likely I'll get a phone call from time to time. And yes, they also look very nice at your home, and we have also had remotes with changeable covers. One of them was a fabric cover in the tone of gray. Most people have gray sofa at home, right? When you take this and with your gray sofa, looked amazing. No complaints. So the last one, knowing our audience. Do we know who is our actual audience? Who is paying for us? We have these different people here. So the first one there, it's me, watching Love is Blind, UK, US, Sweden, now Habibi is the last one. I watch 6 episodes at once, usually. I binge watch heavily. And I watch reality TV, and I've been very open about it. Don't come at me. And then we have these people. These are the grandparents, someone's grandparents. It's like my grandpa. So every evening he watches the news. He watches the sports news that is after the news. Then they watch Hercule Poirot. And then there are some others. They know about EPG. They know exactly what are they watching, when is it on air. I don't go to EPG. They go. So we have to keep the EPG for them. And then we have this family here that has mother and then the grandmother and then the kids. So who are we designing for? Are we designing for the young one, the older one, or everyone? If we're designing for everyone, then we have to know who is everyone, and we have to take them all into account. And then this guy. I think we all might have one or few of these users at home. What happens when small frustrations come? And when they will turn into big problems? It's a longer one. I'll give you a moment again. For some reason, some things have jumped around, but it's okay. What matters is that when we get small frustrations, so are they the error messages, something else? Are they frequent bugs? Are they ease of use or the difficult of use? These will all combine together. If you turn on your TV 3 nights a week, and every time you will see an error message or something bad on your screen that is bothering you, then you will start questioning the price of the service. You're like, I'm paying how much for it? Every month? Then you might churn. You might check someone else instead and go and sign up there. However nice we try to make our error messages look, in reality it's that. Which means I can't watch my content. You can say it's P204 content not found. Please try again, we're sorry. But it's still the same. It should be also moving, but it's not moving today. Okay. Well, anyway, these are also the screens we don't want to see, and our users don't want to see them, and I don't want to see my content has loaded 2%, 4%, 7%, 20%, and then I have to wait every time. No, we don't want to see that. What can we do about it so that I wouldn't only rant on the stage? I'm also giving some thoughts about what can we do. We should first know our users, then we should understand them, and we should empathize and care about our users. What do they actually need, and are we actually giving them that? Or are we forcing them into something that we think they want? We have all done that from time to time, it's okay to say that. Our UX should be intuitive. There shouldn't be a long manual of how to use TV. It should just work intuitively. Personalization. It's still relevant, and we have older users, we have younger users. The younger users still want to be recommended the content that they actually want to watch and that they are actually interested about, and so on. Technical performance. So about the error messages, the loading, the everything. We should ask our users, did we actually succeed or did we fuck up? And if we did, we should rethink it. Go back to it and then ask them again. And then learn from it and be better. We should know our data. When I started in TV, now quite some years ago, one of the first recommendations or advice I got was that always know your numbers. Back then I didn't exactly understand why is it so relevant and why is it so important. Well, throughout the years I have learned to understand why do you need to know all the numbers and all the data. You need to understand it, learn from it, stand on it. And then I have a few pro tips that I didn't write on the slide here. It's that if you don't know how to do these things, then already in this room we have a ton of vendors and partners that are great in the things they do. It's worth using them, especially if you don't know how to do it. And then another pro tip is that we have a lot of operators in the room, other streaming services providers, friends in the industry. Talk with each other. It helps. We have heard that content is king so many times today. It is, but experience is also queen. And you know what they say about happy wife, happy life? It's in that direction. We have great content. The streaming services are full of it. Us as operators, we're doing either our own content or we have so many different types of content, the niche, and so on and so on and so on. It needs to be there. It matters so much, but if the experience around content doesn't, you won't stay. Thank you.